Welcome to Tail and Prince Golf Podcast, powered by Dimers.com. And now your hosts, Granj Fin.
Welcome back, folks. Another episode of Tail and Print weekly golf betting and DFS podcast powered by Dimers.com. Here as I am each and every Tuesday night, it is your boy Granj coming to you from Southern Florida. Here to just kind of revel in and let it sink in the fact that a 50-year-old Phil Mickelson turned back the clock and won the Wanamaker Trophy on Sunday. Still hasn't really hit me yet as a fan and a podcaster, but here to help me kind of sort through it mentally is my man Finn in upstate NY. And, you know, I'm a little jaded. I had a really nice Brooks ticket. I would have loved to have seen cash. Of course, we're here for the money, but it was really cool to see Phil do it. I don't really know how else to put it other than that. And especially just the scene and how it all went down on the 18th hole. It was one for the ages, man. It really was.
Yeah, you couldn't have asked for much more, especially we were joking before the show started. I couldn't help but laugh at the fact that you had money on Phil to be the round leader on the only round he did not lead. Day one, second, third, fourth. Obviously, fourth, he won it. But the only round he wasn't the leader was the one round that Corey Connor is a guy who I had. I wish I just had him for the round one leader because he had a rough Friday. So a lot of people did. You know, you just can't blame it on him. That course, holy cow, which I think is what's kind of helped out Phil is the fact that, you know, it didn't matter if you could hit it 10,000 yards. It just mattered if you hit the ball well that week or you could save yourself because the conditions of that course, holy cow. I mean, we saw, Munoz hit it into a trash can. We saw guys who just hit it to the grandstand on purpose just to have a better lie so they could drop. It was some of those shots. It was incredible. And I think I heard on the radio, I got a great laugh out of this as they're looking for somebody's ball, and anybody who had played there recently, most likely they could have had a ball hidden somewhere. And one of the spectators found the ball and he looked over to the pro. He's like, "Hey, like, what are you hitting? Are you hitting a top flight?" And everyone just like, "What are you doing?" Like, no,
no, he's not, sir. No, he's not.
No one's hitting a top flight on the tour. I can tell you that. The only person I can maybe ever see doing that's like John Daly, because they pay him enough and he just doesn't really care. And shout out to him. I forgot here and everything because it was a 30-year when he won, and the 9th alternate to go on and win. That's almost as incredible as the Phil story. Like you said, 50 years old. Yeah, man. He just played on the senior tour and won, and then came out and won at the PGA Championship. It was unreal. I got to say though, that scene at 18, I wasn't too huge on that. I think that they could have done a little bit better job controlling it. I just didn't like the fact, and Brooks mentioned this, is that one, he just had surgery and he's having to go through a mosh pit of people who are probably boozed up to the gills and riding on every adrenaline rush because of Phil, everything going on with him. And the thing is that a lot of people didn't think about, which I'm thinking is he's got to go through all this, hope he's okay. And then he's got to hit a putt, which is probably $500,000 riding on it. So to me, I like the fact that they let them go up, and I like the fact that they, you know, all crowded around. That was awesome. I just think they could have handled it a tad better. And then anyone who actually grabbed them and tried to get a selfie, do us all a favor, find the tallest building near you and tell me what it's like. Like, tell me how fast you can get to the bottom if you jump off the edge. Just time yourself and then tell me how it works out.
It was a little much. I agree. And they probably should have known coming into Sunday that if Phil was in contention or if he was going to win it on 18, it was going to be chaotic, especially since they had full capacity and people hadn't been to a sporting event and ever. And it's literally history you're seeing. For me, I will always, like in the future, I think of when I'm telling my grandkids about, you know, golf and things I watched growing up, I will always go back to Tiger, I think, at the 2019 Masters, just because it's Tiger and it was amazing. But this, again, for me, hasn't really sunk in yet, just the magnitude of the victory. And I know a lot of people were saying, oh, how can Phil Mickelson be 200-1 to win the PGA? The man had one top 20 in the last 2 years on tour. He's 50 years old. Like, 500 to 1 would have been a more accurate number for him the way he was playing. So it's astonishing. I thought it was a cool story that he was in the mix or in the lead after 36 holes. And I think I texted you. I was like, I really hope he's in the mix on Sunday. He doesn't just shoot, 80 on Saturday. And he hung around, man. He hung around. And again, having that Brooks ticket when they went birdie bogey on the first hole, I was like, shit, Brooks is just going to put pedal to the metal here, win this thing by 5, and Phil's going to fade away. But to his credit, man, he hung tough. He birdied 2. Brooks really fucked up the par 5s on the front 9. He played the first 3 of them in 4 over, but then Phil had the hole out on the 5th hole, and I was like, wow, this really, really is going to happen. And then the thing was, he got to the back 9, and you're still waiting, right? You're waiting for Phil to collapse. You're waiting for him to make a mistake. And his lead got so big that he could afford that mistake. He hit one in the water on 14, but he hit it in a place where he could drop on the green, and a bogey or a double wasn't going to kill him. So he had enough breathing room. Brooks did make him earn it at the end. He birdied, 15 and 16. So it was only a 2-shot lead heading into 18. And the announcers, which it's a whole nother thing. CBS really – obviously, you want to see everyone at Phil shots, but they didn't show Ricky till his last putt. Ricky had a putt to finish inside the top 5, would have got him in the Masters. They didn't mention that. The coverage is just bad. I don't think they showed Harry Higgs once after he teed off. He finished inside the top 5. Like some of these dudes, they had a chance. I mean, they showed Cantley a little bit because it was starting to play so hard that I think again, I texted you. I was like, -4 in the clubhouse looks really good. -5 would be amazing. And a couple of guys, threatened to get there. Like I said, like Cantley, Answer made a run early. Paul Casey looked like he might get there, and they all faded, but they didn't really show it too much. And then on 18, they're talking like Phil already won. And I was like, is this a birdie bogey swing away? We've seen it happen 7 times today. It's not a foregone conclusion. And then obviously Phil put any doubts to rest when he hit that 9-iron. And it's an all-timer, man. It's not gonna, for me, it'll be firmly inside the top 5. It's just, shocking and most amazing historical golf wins there are. And it's amazing for Phil. You could tell he, was just really trying to stay in the moment, not let it get too big. It was kind of a different side of Phil. You could tell him, like, even for him, he's like, holy shit, this is really happening. I got to hold it together. It's the first major he won of his 6 with his brother on the bag. So he's got to feel like, $1 bajillion this week. I mean, absolutely unreal.
Yeah. And you could tell in the post-round interview he had, I think he even alluded, like, he didn't allow himself to get there. And he's been talking about how he's been working on his mental game a lot. And you could tell he was really dialed in. Even listening to his brother, it was so cool. Like they were going down to like the foot, like, oh, what is that? Like, it was like 127 and a foot. Like, and he was hitting it. Like, it was unbelievable to see that and to see him so dialed in. And I think when you could tell he talked to his wife, he said, I'll be home later. And I think right when he got off the phone, that's when like he kind of allowed himself to be like, holy cow, I won this at 50. It's like he said, he envisioned it, but I think Phil's a realist too, where he's 50 and you got some of these young guys who are, I think he did it against Brooks. I think if he had done it against like Louis or somebody else, don't get me wrong, it would still like make it as unbelievable as it was.
But he turned back here.
He got paired with Brooks, and then he outdrove him on 16. He had the longest drive of the day on 16. It's
insane.
Unbelievable.
It's a testament to the work he's put in to get his driving distance where it needs to be. Like we talked about Stuart Sink earlier this year. These dudes, these older guys need to compete in distance in order to hang around, and Phil has really put that work in. The results obviously weren't showing. He's getting older. He's obviously still got game. He's winning every time he tees up on the senior tour, but it's so hard for them to compete with guys half their age or less than half their age. It's nuts. That's why golf is the best, man. I mean, it's literally, it could be like father and son out there duking it out. And like you mentioned, Brooks had a chance to win his 5th, which would have equaled him with Phil. When I saw that going into Sunday, I mean, everyone knew the major count, but I was like, holy shit, like he has a chance to make history. Phil has a chance to make history being the oldest guy ever to win one. So I tweeted, I was like, my heart's with Phil, my money's with Brooks. So Louis, you're going to win. And Louis battled. He played great. He hit one in the water that ended up costing him on 14. But other housekeeping notes from the leaderboard. Like you said, man, the course is tough as nails. It's 7,800 yards, but short hitters were fine. I mean, Louis is not a long hitter. Patrick Harrington hasn't been relevant in a decade. He finished tied 4th. Your boy Harry Higgs, awesome finish for him. Answer's a shorter hitter. You got Kevin Streelman was in the second to last group, but Bezuidenhout and Brandon Grace, they're not long hitters. So it just goes to show you a lot of times you can fall into that bombers only trap. And we talked about it last week when we did the preview, but that wasn't the case. It was whoever was hitting it good. And shout out to Phil, man. It's unbelievable. Not such a good story for us. I don't know about you. My $100 betting card, the only one I cashed was DJ to miss the cut. That brought back $37. So you lost $63 if you went with me on my $100 card. DJ wasn't the only big name to miss the cut, man. We talked about it here too. I attended DraftKings. I was like, fade the top. I just, I didn't practice what I preached because you had JT miss the cut. You had DJ miss the cut. You had Xander miss the cut. Who else up there?
Did Rory?
Rory made it, but was never in it. Rahm did another one of those weird backdoor top tens where he wasn't in it all weekends. Like none of the big stud names were in it too much. Spieth kind of flirted with trying to be in it for a little bit and never was. Hovland faded after the first round. So it was not a who's who on Sunday by any stretch of the imagination, but it had Phil, it had Brooks. It was I watched every shot, and that's how I gauge my interest level. And obviously we do this podcast. We love it, but to sit there Sunday and not move on the couch for 6 hours and watch every shot, that doesn't happen every weekend. No one's really doing that, but I was glued to it.
Well, usually if you do that, there's a nap in between there somewhere that you wake up, like you kind of catch the big guys teeing off, and then you're like, all right, I'm going to power through. And then you're like, I can take like an hour nap and catch the back nine. And then that happens all the time. But this week, like you said, there's coffee after coffee after coffee. Like you were glued to it. And cause you knew we were watching history. Like this is like Jack when he won, Tiger when he won the Masters. This is just something that cherish it because we might not get it again. And I know the expectations are there. And now there's a lot of talk about should it be on the Ryder Cup team, which I think just for chemistry. Yeah, just for chemistry. Which brings us to the next point. The next big story after this is the Brooks-Bryson rivalry. It's back, baby. It never left. Brooks just left, so it wasn't there really, but everyone got to see. I tweeted out, we need a Brooks-Bryson pairing. I'm glad everyone, like I said, I'm the tastemaker for the golf world, I think now. I'm ahead of everyone, and it just annoys the crap out of me that I'm saying stuff, and then 2 months later, everyone's like, hey, this is the thing. I'm like, yo, where were you like 2 months ago?
Yeah, those dudes, I would love to see it in a major, but yeah, they don't like each other at all. Brooks had that comment. I think it was after Saturday's round when Bryson's clunking around with his things. Everyone's seen that clip, but it's funny. And then they were digging up old things of someone calling Bryson Brooksy, and he's like, whoever called me that, get the fuck out of here. Like those two do not mess with each other whatsoever. So US Open, to see those two paired together on Sunday in the last group or second to last group would be
Thursday, Friday. They need to make that happen. If I don't, it just wouldn't make sense to me why you wouldn't do that, because that's must-see TV right there. It doesn't matter if I'm in the third person in that group. It's must-see TV if the two of them are in the same group. But back to the Ryder Cup, you can't have them both, can you? And then you got to throw in Patrick Reed's in there. You can't have Brooks, Reed, and Koepka, because Brooks is going to probably fight both.
Oh no, they're all on the team. They're all, as far as points go, they're on it. So all three of them will be teammates. Yeah, they're all three of them are firmly in the top 8. So it's going to be weird chemistry.
The quote hocus pocus, we're doomed. It's the three of them on the same team. I'm just hoping we make it past Thursday with the full squad there, not someone's 7-iron and Brooks's skull from Koepka hitting it.
Tiger would never do it because he doesn't care that much. But the only person that could probably ever broker a friendship between them would be Tiger, and him sitting him down and be like, hey, you two are actually going to play together, and you're going to play for your country and put your differences aside. And if Tiger said that, I'm sure they'd both listen. But Tiger's not going to do that because it's just Phil
might. But Phil might.
Yeah. But the last thing on Kiawah is just they need to do more events there. I don't want them to make it like a Torrey Pines thing where they play every 5 years and they kind of spoil it. But every 7 years for a PGA or a US Open at Kiawah would be pretty damn cool. Do a Ryder Cup every 2 decades. I mean, the course is just so beautiful. It's firmly inside my top 5 courses I need to play at some point in my life. Absolutely gorgeous course. And it held up, man. They no one ever got away from the course or got too far up. I mean, Phil obviously stretched a 5-shot lead on Saturday, but you look at the final leaderboard, he won at 6 under. So the under prop hit that home. And What a great tournament, man. The PGA Championship used to be Glory's last shot. Now they have it in May, and it's brought some drama, man. It really has. And the fact that Brooks could have won 3 out of 4 is nuts. You always, that was the last bet I put in on Thursday morning before they started playing, just because it got up to 45. And I'm like, you have to bet Brooks at 45.
Yeah.
I mean, if his knee shot and he sucks, whatever, but he was pretty damn close to winning it. Maybe next time. We've been on a cold spell, man. Lost 3.5 units on my card. Shout out to Shane Lowry for finishing inside the top 10 to make it not a total loss. Still plus 17.1 on the season. And with that, we turn the page, man. We only have 3 more tournaments until the U.S. Open at Torrey Pines. But before we talk about the Charles Schwab, I know you have a tale from the course for us. I don't have anything this week. I've been a little busy. I took another lesson, which personally for me is great. Not much content to give on the show. So hit me with what you got.
So my first thing, and this is the PSA, that I will gladly be a ranger at any course to get people to hurry the fuck up. Damn it, people. Just let people play through. It's not an insult. All right. If you're sick of having people up your ass, let them play through. I had 2 rounds that I was 2 over on one and I was 3 over on the other after the front 9. So I'm in the 30s, feeling good. And all of a sudden I catch up to groups and I'm sitting, and it goes from playing the round to sitting at the tee box for 15 minutes. I'm at the tee box with these people the last like 5 holes. Not letting me play through, it threw me off. I was pretty pissed about that. But one of them, they weren't going to let me play through. And that is because, and I need your ruling on this one. So you might know the hole. It's number 8 at Saratoga Lake. It's like that 300-yard par 4 that has the pond at the bottom and like the figure 8.
Mm-hmm.
I can drive that green every so often. Well, just so I'm striping it. It's just one of those. I got the game going. For the first time ever, I overhit the green. And these guys were taking their sweet ass time getting off the green. I waited for them. The other 2 guys in my group teed off. I waited till they got off the green because I know I could hit the green, even though most of the time when I do wait, I shank it.
Yeah. I
bombed this one. And I didn't think it was going past the green because that's like a 320-yard shot. And I'm like, I can't hit. So I didn't yell 4. I thought I was going like right next to, and I guess I got close to them. All of a sudden I'm driving up. I'm like, oh God, I probably got really close and probably should have yelled a 4. So I see one of the guys. I was like, sorry about that. I did not know I could hit this far. My bad. Like, I'm really sorry. And you could tell he was kind of annoyed, but like, again, what are you going to do? It's a par 4. Like, I don't think I can overhit a par 4 all the time. And then all of a sudden I'm walking and this other guy comes out of the woodwork, the oldest guy in the group. And he's like, you almost fucking killed me. And I'm like, dude, as I said, I'm sorry. I did not know. This is like the furthest I ever hit a drive, like straight away. Like, I'm sorry about that. He's like, you almost. And so I was just like, dude, last time, sorry. If you say anything else, then we're going to have different words. And he's starting to go on. And the guys in my group are yelling back and forth. And then these guys just start deliberately playing slow and they're not going to let us pass. And it was just, it's a pain in the ass.
That situation sucks because yes, you probably could have given a 4 for sure, but you went up and you acknowledged what you'd done wrong. And we've all been there before. You're like, yeah, my bad, man. You're not trying to kill anybody, but you actually went out of your way and apologized to it. And in the meantime, you want to tell them to hurry the hell up and like let us through and you won't see us all day. But then obviously that is kind of taken with a caveat because it looks like you may have just hit into them. So that's out the window. You can't really give them that crap. But once the other dude comes back and starts giving you shit, you handled it exactly like I would have. I would have apologized a second time and done the same thing. And there's people listening to this podcast that know that I don't fuck around on the golf course. Like I will do the right thing and the etiquette, but if you piss me off, I'm giving it to you straight. So I think you handled it perfectly. And you never want it to get like that. Everyone out there is trying to have a good time playing golf, but some people need to be like, they need to know what they're doing wrong. And I'm curious because like, who are these people? It's old, and you hate to be an ageist because not all old people are slow and not all young people are fast, but everyone our age in our demographic listening to this podcast, I think has the presence of mind to know if you're holding someone up. I do it. I know if I'm playing with people and I'm too fast of a golfer, but if I'm playing with people that are slow and our group is slowing down, a smaller group behind us, you just stand to the side for 2 minutes. They go through. You never see them the rest of the day, and you save them an hour. I can't tell you the amount of times, like I was playing with my boy Spinny down here a couple weeks ago. We're playing in 2. We catch this foursome on the 14th tee box, And there's nobody else out on the course. They could have let us just tee off, 30 seconds, see you later. We're halfway home by the time we finish the round. So to full circle, I agree with what you're saying. I don't know who these people are, what planet they come from, where they just don't have the etiquette to let people play through, but I digress. This is why private country club life is the way to go. Was spoiled growing up. I miss it dearly. And that's full circle on slow play there.
Yeah, just let people through. Like, just take a second. Now, obviously, there's times if you catch up, and we've all been there, you just tell the people behind it, hey, listen, I was going to let you play through, but then you're going to have that foursome, and then that foursome. And then, like, there's just days it's slow. And you know what? For the most part, people know that.
But you can recognize it. Yeah, I don't even ask. Yeah. I'll never ask the group in front of me to play through if I see another group in front of them. I'm not an idiot.
I'm always on the lookout.
I'm
always on the look. And I'll be the one that will tell a group if they're playing slow, like, hey, just to let you know, you are the group that's like the 6 hour round group. Yep. Like, everyone's day is slower now. I have no problem telling people that, because I get it. You got to go out there and you got to enjoy it. But you also have to realize that some people, they might be trying to squeeze in like a quick 18, and you don't know how often they can do it. So
it also depends on the day of the week. We could do a whole podcast on this. If you're going out Saturday at 10 o'clock on a public course, like, you know what you're getting into. It's going to be a 5 hour round. Don't get mad. Have a couple extra drinks. Laugh it up with the boys. Make sure you playing with the people you like the most on Saturdays and Sundays, because you're going to spend the most time with them. But if you're teeing off at 3 o'clock on a Wednesday and you're a single and there's a group of 3 in front of you and there's no one in front of them, yeah, you should expect that they should let you play through, especially if they know what they're doing. So it's my dream one day. I think I've told you, and maybe on this podcast, I want something like the equivalent of a driver's permit to go play a public course in America. You got to take like a 30-minute just etiquette class. I want to teach it. And then you get this little card and you get to go play at public courses in America. That shows that you know a few things, literally to know when to let people play through, when to not. Pace of play, play ready golf. We're not playing for $1 million out here. Fix your ball marks. That's basically it. Other than that, you don't need a lesson. I mean, park the golf cart on the right side of the green. Literally a few things. I could do a 20-minute course. You pay me $19.99. You get your little, golfer's permit, and you can go to every course in America, and everyone's the better for it. So let's make this happen.
We should do like a tail and print etiquette thing, and then we'll send you like a little tag for that. And
let's do that. I like that. I'm writing that down.
I do have to say, I feel pretty cool though, because I got a season pass for one of the Saratoga Lake course. I love that course. It's a tough I think it's the toughest course in our area.
Lake?
Yeah, like I think it's harder than National. I score better at National, like much better at National.
You're 1 in a million. The National, I can't score on that course.
National, I've gotten like 81s on National. Like I when I'm playing, like to me, that course maybe just fits my game. I think it's the lake. It's got more woods and trees, and it's tighter fairways, and you gotta play smart. You can't hit driver off every hole. But at least with a Ranger, when he was going around the second time, like the Sunday, the people I almost hit, they literally came up, was like, hit Finn. Like, I was like, oh, sweet, you know my name. Like, I was the only one they asked if everything was okay, and I was like, nice, dude. Like, I feel like I'm one of the guys now.
You're a local at the lake course. I dig it, but I have it written down here. We're gonna do that at some point. A tail and print etiquette course, just to put it out there, and we'll make it interactive and fun. But just and the thing is, I think the people listening to this podcast don't need it. We need to get it out there to those old fuckers in front of you, slowing you down when they should be letting you play through. But it's a good tale from the course for the week. What, you got? Anything else? No, you're good.
No, I'm good. That was it. I kind of thank you. That's my TED Talk. Thank you, everyone, for letting me out. But just if you're a slow player, hurry the fuck up.
I like it. No, nothing else needs to be said other than that. No. Before we transition to the Charles Schwab, make sure you guys head over to dimers.com. Their state of the art bet hub, and Dimers bot will get you right for not only golf, but all the other sports that are out there as well. NBA playoff time. I know Finn's going to tell you about that in 2 seconds, but make sure you head over to Dimers, read the nice written pieces each week on golf, whether that's myself, Finn, or Ryan Lever, who we had on the pod last week. Dimers is where you need to be. Best promos in the biz as well, which Finn is going to tell you about right now for the NBA.
Absolutely. So Dimers Sportsbook, DraftKings Sportsbook, our Dimers official NBA odds partner for the playoffs. And to celebrate, they're giving new customers who join DraftKings via dimers.com $200 in free bets if your first $5 moneyline bet wins. Simply jump to dimers.com. That's dimers.com. Find the offer on the homepage and click through to get a free $200 when you make your first $5 NBA bet. So with that, I mean, if you got to do the $5 bet on the money line to win, we got to at least help the people out. I mean, I know it's that term, find a man who does both. We do both. We like football. Jesus, I can do all three, I guess. We like basketball. We like golf. We like all sports. Granj, I know you're a big NBA guy. You follow it. I've been following it a lot closer this year because my Knicks have been relevant past Christmas. So
yes, sir.
I'm learning on that. So seeing as how this is going to be released tonight, Monday night, we'll give you some times. We'll give you the Wednesday games. That way you can do a little more research, go to Dimers. So do you have I got the Wednesday slate. So I'll give it off to you on Dimers. So we got in 76ers. Sixers are giving 8.5. We got the Knicks and Hawks. Knicks are -2, so they're giving 2. We got the Grizzlies and Jazz. This one I like. Grizzlies are +8.5 after that last game. And Ja Morant, who is, I think, my favorite player outside of the Knicks right now in the NBA. Favorite player in the NBA.
Ja's a baller. If you need, I mean, basically they're giving you $200 as long as you just put $5. You can put it on the chalkiest money line. So I would honestly go ahead and put the $5 money line bet on the Sixers -360. I think they're going to roll over the Wizards and sweep them. They just have too much firepower and play too good a defense. So if you want to get your free $200, put $5 on the money line there. But I'm actually with you, man. I think the Jazz end up winning that series, but I think it's going to be a lot closer than people think. I mean, the Grizzlies, especially if Donnie Mitchell's out again or if he's banged up, I think 8.5 is too many points. I think the Jazz probably win that game. I don't see him going down 2-0, but I think 8.5 is a tad too much. And yeah, man, dude, watching the Knicks, I can't claim Knicks as my team. I really can't. I quit on them as a kid because it was so disheartening to watch year after year after year. But for those diehard Knicks fans that have stuck out with it through the thick and thin, you deserve this because it's a more fun team than even those Melo and Amari teams were. The Garden was rocking on Sunday. It's too bad Trae Young had to, and I don't like Trae Young, but that was cool. He hits the shot and he goes, "It's fucking quiet in here." And that's what you miss in the live sports and not having fans. They were giving it to him all game, and it got dead silent after. And as a player, they must love that. I know Kobe and MJ lived for that, to shut up the opposing crowd. So,
especially the Garden. Especially the Garden. If you can quiet the Garden, I think that is just, you put that picture on the mantle. Or I guess in the future when the pictures are like the Harry Potter, like it's the scenes, the live, you put that on the mantle of you shutting up Madison Square Garden, because that's, fuck you, Trae Young, but congrats on the moment.
For real. So, I mean, as far as, and before we go too off on a tangent with the NBA, I still like the Sixers to make the finals. I think they're +330 to win the East, and the Nets are closer to even money. So I have a big bet on the Sixers from the beginning of the season to win the East at 9-1. So I'm really hoping that gets home. I'm not going to hedge because when I hedge, I lose. So that's my insight on it. But I will be rooting for the Knicks, and I'll be rooting for the Suns. I like the Suns. I hope CP3 gets there, and Booker's my favorite player. So I'll be watching that game 2 tonight once we get done recording, which means we have to turn the page to the Charles Schwab Challenge. Before we do that, Finn, I want to say congrats to you, congrats to me, because this marks 1 year to the day of the return of golf, and you and I have made it 52 straight Tuesdays in a row. That is awesome for both of us. Golf claps. Consistency is everything in life and in podcasting. And regardless of how big or little the show stays, I mean, the fact we've done it for a year straight on Tuesday nights is awesome. So hats off to you, sir. I knew that you saw it in the show notes. I figured it out the other night. So it's been a fun year, and it's crazy to think a year ago we were just coming out of COVID. We got to watch this tournament, which you'll give the breakdown on. We got to see a playoff right off the bat. Yep. So crazy. It's been a year. We've seen a lot. We've seen, DJ run train on the FedEx Cup playoffs. We saw, obviously, Phil probably give us the best moment when he won the PGA the other day. We saw Bryson get his first major. We saw Morikawa get his first major. So we've really been spoiled the last 12 months. Yeah. And everyone listening to the show that has been there for us every week, we appreciate it too. We do it for you guys. So not to get too sentimental, but 52 weeks in a row is a pretty cool thing. But I digress, and I will let you talk about Colonial Country Club.
All right, so we are heading back to Colonial. Believe it or not, this is the second longest venue that they have had. Let's see. I think it's back to how many 76 editions of this tournament have been played at the Colonial. This is in Fort Worth, Texas. We are par 70, a little over 7,200 yards. Believe it or not, it's second to Augusta for longest time or most consecutive tournaments played. It actually played host to the Players Tournament. The second edition of that back in 1975. So kind of a cool little tidbit that because you always just pictured Sawgrass with the Players. So this actually held the Players Championship. Pretty nice. Narrow greens. Definitely the rough might not hurt you too much if you get it in there. Depends on what level you get it at with the rough, but scrambling is going to be a big one. Putting, it's kind of the short game. You can bomb it, but if you're not a bomber, as long as you can like proximity approach, you're good with that, especially scrambling. I think scrambling is going to be a big one this week. If you can just at least save it, you're going to be set. What with bent grass, I believe this week, we are bent grass, I believe this week. I was just hearing another interview when they're talking about how they do everything as on PGA radio, and they're talking about ryegrass, bent grass. I'm like, oh crap, I got the other grass. I'm thinking of every type of grass, and then so on and so forth. But as we alluded to, COVID-19 pause. We came back for this one. We had Daniel Berger and Colin Morikawa in the playoff. Berger birdied the 72nd hole to finish at 15 under and force the extra hole. If you remember this one, I do, because I can't believe Morikawa came back and won. Was it the Memorial and then the PGA Championship? Because they had those putts that they almost picked the ball up. Both of them, they're reaching down like, oh, gimmies, and like, no, you have to finish it out. Berger taps his in. Morikawa missed his.
He missed it.
And I can't believe he came back. So
it fueled him, man. It fueled him. And then do you remember Xander missed a really short one on the 17th hole that took him out of the playoff? It was dramatic. I remember Spieth was actually in the mix for a little bit. It had a good leaderboard. I think I had Jay Rose that week for my one and done, and he was around the leaderboard. So it really was a good tournament. And we got a good one again this week, man. Spieth's in the field. JT's in the field. Phil is in the field straight off of winning a major. We have Morikawa back. We got Berger defending his title. You got Reed. You got Finau. And my favorite member of this field is Mike Visacki, the guy we talked about, the Monday qualifier here out of Tampa, who played in the Valspar. He got a sponsor's invite from the folks over at Charles Schwab with his story. So we'll be sweating him again. I have him favorited on the PGA Tour app, so I hope to God he makes a cut. Would be really cool. But it's cool that they gave him a sponsor's exemption. I wanted to put that little tidbit in there. And man, I am looking to kind of buck the trend. It's been a while since we've hit a winner. We do have some units to play with here, and I'm looking at the board, and although I find it deserved, it's still ironic to now see Jordan Spieth atop a betting board that includes names like Colin Morikawa, Justin Thomas, Patrick Reed. Like, he's now the favorite, and it's deservedly so, man. He's playing some amazing golf, and like we've talked about ad nauseum, we don't need to mention again, he's beyond being back. He's won. He's done everything he needs to. So he's at the top at 10-1, and the other guys in at under 20-1 are Morikawa at 12, JT at 13, Berger at 19, and Reed at 19. And for me, I'm actually going to go with a dude who has defended his title once before at the FedEx St. Jude. I like Berger at the top. He had a terrible Thursday at the PGA, recovered quite nicely after that to make the cut Friday. And I believe he finished, he had a shitty Sunday as well. He finished near the bottom, but I like him near, just at that discounted price compared to the other favorites. I think it's a good fit for him. And tipping my cap on one and done. I've been so bad, but I used DJ last week. I am going with Berger for one and done. So I'm just going to get that out of the way now. That's who I like at the top.
I like that. I might have to tip my hand. If you're going to do DFS, we're going to talk. You talked about Spieth. Age 27. I'm reading this right off of the PGA Tour website for their power rankings. He's number 2 behind Colin Morikawa. Berger's number 3. Age 27, 9th appearance. Perfect record here with a win in 2016, 2 top 2s among 7 top 15s.
Wow.
So
you like it much?
If you're going to do a DFS and you're going to take a chalky player, Spieth, course history wise, and his the way he's playing right now, that's the chalk pick if you're going to do it. When it comes to betting him, I got something else in mind. Just 10-1, and that's just
It's too short. He's not winning at a clip he did earlier in his career. Yes, he's been, a top 5 machine lately, but I agree with you. The betting at a 10-1 is too short. But the DFS for cash lineups, or like you said, if you want to play some chalk, 11-2 for him is actually probably cheap compared to where he could be. They never really priced anyone up at 12, but I've seen 11-5, 11-6. Like he would definitely warrant that this week, given how he's played at this course and how he's played recently. So I don't knock it at all. Starting with Spieth, it'd be weird to see him not in the top 10 here.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see like Neiman. He's another guy who I think ball striking, he could be good. Corey Connors, he's another guy. I love him. I think he fits this course great. Patrick Reed, that's a name that a lot of people are bringing up. But
Dimers loves it. They give him the highest percentage to win this week at 6.3.
He's somebody that I feel like if it's a tough course or even his name just gets thrown out. Like, you know what it is almost? It's the odd ball tournament. I don't want to say the oddball, but the week after the majors, like the ones that are like some people might be taking off because the tournament, the big ones in 2 weeks or something. I feel like Reed's in those tournaments and everyone always gravitates to Reed. It's just one of those like, oh, this is kind of a tough tournament. There's not a lot of people in here. Reed loves it. Like, and it works out from time to time, but I just, again, I don't like him. He's just one of those, like, I'm just not a huge fan of him outside the Ryder Cup. So I feel like I can talk myself out of him, where if it was like, if you put, Zalatoris, Corey Connors is there, I would talk myself into it in 2 seconds. Another name they have on here who did decently well last week, Rose. Yes, thank you. Justin Rose. And he's a former winner on this. Won in 2018. So there's somebody. And then Ryan Palmer, he's an actual local. So keep that in mind, folks. Ryan Palmer is an actual local. I believe he's
the Fort Worth area.
Yeah, so he knows this course, so keep that one in mind.
He doesn't win though on tour, and I did forget to mention. I write him down every week, but the past champions: you had Berger in 2020, you had Kevin Na in 2019, Jay Rose in 18, Kisner in 17, Spieth in 16. All the winning scores. Rose got the 20 under in 18, but we're going to be probably in that 15 to 17 range for a winner. So it's not a strict birdie fest, which I appreciate this rather than the 25, 26 unders. You mentioned Corey Connors. I like him a lot for DraftKings. I think he is down. What is he? 4-8. He's the 11th highest priced guy. But if you look at the statistics for him and approach, his around the green game isn't great, and that maybe is why he's getting knocked here. But he has the best irons in this field other than Morikawa and Zalatoris. And if you want to see, we talked about it a few weeks ago, just his consistent results in these tournaments, like he's become like a stud out here. So I think he's far undervalued for DraftKings. I think he's a great place to you go Spieth and Connors to start a lineup. You still have a good amount of salary to work down the board, and there's some names in the middle that are playing good. You can get, the mid sevens, I think is a really nice range to live. You have Keith Mitchell, who's playing awesome golf. Kuchar's turned it around at 76. You have Westwood at 76. So I like the construction of going with those two up top, Spieth and Connors, that is, and then plucking, 3 guys in the sevens out and 1 down in the sixes. I think that's a really good way to go about building a lineup this week. And I know your boy, the big rig, Harry Higgs, down at 7,200. I'm sure you have some love for him this week.
Oh, there's a bear shit in the woods after last week. Oh my God. We need more of the big sexy out there. I think that's got to be his new nickname, with that low V-neck he's got rocking and those sunglasses and that smile he's got. I just want to have a beer with him. He's one of those guys you talked about earlier when we're like, all right, go with somebody you like, who you can shoot. He's somebody that if I had like a 11 o'clock tee time on a Saturday where it's like, all right, I got a 6-hour round coming up, I would love to be in the cart with him, because I know I would have a great time and might not remember the back nine. So that would be so much fun.
You would have the Tito's and soda going at about 9:30 before you tee off. But yeah, SVP and his boy Stanford Steve had him on the podcast, and they nicknamed him the Big Rig, and he liked that. So that's what I'm going with for him.
You know what? The Big Rig is a pretty sweet one too.
The Big Rig.
Yeah. So I think, because Big Sexy, there's some connotation. Bartolo Colon already trademarked that one, and he just fits that one to a T. So maybe I forced that one. I did fetch, that's so maybe I fetched that one. So we'll stick with the Big Rig, because I think that one's better.
I like it. Yeah. Top 4 finish in the major for him is pretty legit. So yeah, as far as the lineup goes for me, some names I'm going to use. Like I said, I'm going to live in the 7K range quite a bit. So I am going with Spieth at 11-2. Connors at 9-4. I'm going to go with Emiliano Grillo at 7-9, who's been playing some awesome golf. I'm going to go with Matt Kuchar at 76. I'm going to go with Zach Johnson at 6,900. That leaves me $7K for my last spot, and I am going to go with Dylan Fratelli, who actually is South African, but he is also a native to the Fort Worth area, and no one's going to have him this week. So that is my lineup for DraftKings.
All right, so mine this week for DraftKings, I'm going to go Taylor Gooch at 7,300. I'm going to go Harry Higgs, the big rig, 7,200. Jason Kokrak at 9,000. Joaquin Niemann at 9,300. Justin Rose at 8,900. And Cameron Tringale, I'm going to go back to him. I know he got me my top 20 round one, and then he shit the bed. So thank you for that, Cam. You at least held it together for one round for me. Much appreciated. He's at 8,100, and that leaves me 0 pesos, no Dogecoin, no nothing left. All 50,000 used.
Might as well use them if you
I got 200. I take it back. I was looking at the wrong one. Average remaining. I got 200 left.
Wow, and I am up 11-7 on the season on you. So you are, you're holding firm.
I'm keeping it close enough.
Exactly.
If I win this week, that's a big one. That's
exactly.
That's a 3-1. That's a big one.
Yes. But I'm gonna put you down. I got a winner in there. I feel like you did mention a name that I like on my betting card, which we'll get to in a second. But let's transition over to there. I gave my one and done of Burger. Are you going Spieth for one and done? Or
I'm gonna go Spieth one and done.
Well, you haven't used him yet. You're using your man Spieth. You're calling your shot. So
yep.
Those are the one and done picks, and let's get into the betting cards.
Show me he's sticking you. Give me the loop. 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 Give me the loop.
Betting cards for the Charles Schwab Challenge. As I mentioned on the PGA recap, unfortunately, I dropped a few more shekels last week, minus 3.5 units at the PGA. Shane Lowry, top 10 cash for me, which was very nice, plus 17.1 units on the year. Need a winner, though, my man. We were hot in February, hit 3 out of 4, and we've been on a dry spell since. So I don't love the board this week, to be completely honest. And, it shows a mature better when you can just say, hey, this is not great for me this week. I'm going to just kind of take a back step. I'm going to dabble a little bit so I have a sweat perhaps on Sunday, but I'll be out and about doing some family things since last week was consumed with golf. But I digress to a few picks on the board. I have one top 20 play, a man who played some great golf at the PGA, made his first cut in a major, Cam Davis, plus 420 to finish inside the top 20. Let's see what Dimers has on that bad boy. They give it a 19.5% chance. So we are pretty much in agreement there with about a 1 in 5 chance of him getting home. But that's my only top 20. I know you have some first round top 20s. You live and breathe those things. So put those on me.
Yeah. So I got 2 of the round 1 top 20s, which shout out, and I say the name. I was listening to the PGA Tour radio, and this guy's on the radio, and I texted you right away. I damn near drove off the road. This guy's like, yeah, some guy's telling me about this podcast he's listening to. I can't remember the name of it, but yeah, like the last 2 weeks, they gave out top 20 bets, and then they listed like the 2 guys I picked. I'm like, oh my God, that's us. I'm like, say Taylor Britt. He's like, I can't remember. I got to go listen to it. And I'm like screaming in my car, like, say Taylor, say our
I'm
name. I'm like, Harvey Dent, like, what's her name? Say her. What's Rachel? Like, and nope, didn't happen. But I maybe it's better they didn't say the name, because if they said something else, then I would be like, motherfucker. So maybe at least like the illusion. So
that's a pretty good Two-Face, by the way. That wasn't bad. I'll give you that.
Thank you. I said that. I used to Rachel or no more dead cops. Used to say it's too much fun in college. But so we're gonna stick with the 2 round 1 top 20s I got this week. Ryan Palmer, as I said, he's the local. He's going off at plus 320. That's gonna be a half unit. All these bets are half units, so it's gonna be 6 units total this week. And then another one, somebody who's been playing pretty decent of late, and I feel like he's an early round guy. Jason Duffner, he's going off at plus 500. He had another good outing last week. It's just not. Duffner is one of those guys. He's almost like a poor man's Phil, where it's like everyone loves Duffner. Like he's just a guy, you love him, but he's he just was never. He had that quick stretch where everything's going really good for him.
And then Tiger may or may not have banged his wife, and that will ruin even the best of men. So
yeah, especially his wife was.
But he can finish in the
easy on
top
eyes.
20 in this tournament this week for you.
No, just for the
Awesome.
first round. Just for the first round.
Oh my God, he can let Tiger bang his wife all the rest of the weekend. Then who cares?
Absolutely. And then I do have some and then another one, because I can't take the 10 to the 1. So sticking with the round 1, Spieth, round 1 leader, 22-1. So I can't take him with the 10 to 1. So you know what? I'll try a day 1, 22-1. Take him for that. And then
He was the first round leader 2 weeks ago, wasn't he?
Yeah, he did. He has been playing well in the first round. Even when he was starting to come back, he always had like a 36, 54, 18. He was close. So he likes this course. As you've seen, he knows this course like the back of his hand. So I think 22-1, I'll take it for round 1 leader. And then I got 4 top 20s and then just outrights after that. So my 4 top 20s for the week, I got Taylor Gooch. He's plus 400. Dimers, he's one of the best value bets there. 27% chance to hit that one. Denny McCarthy, he's another one of their the best bets they have for the odds, and he's at plus 700, and Dimers gives him a 17.7% chance. I got to take my boy Harry Higgs. He's only going off at like plus 300 right now, but that's okay. I love the man. 14.9% chance to do it. I'll ride out to the low percentage with him. And then I'm going back to the well because I'm going to just die with this guy, I think. And that's Sahith Theegala. He's in this tournament, top 20, plus 1,000. So 10-1. Dimers is giving him a 2.9% chance. God, I love donating money because of that guy. He did hit me a couple times, actually. I can't say I'm definitely positive with Theegala, but recently he's done me a little dirty, but I think this course he can handle it.
You know, I am actually going to do one blind tail and hopefully a print of a Dimers bot fire emoji for the top 20. They love Denny McCarthy. Good old Denny, who's got a great short game. 17.
And you love Denny.
Yeah, 17.7% chance of finishing in the top 20 at a robust plus 700. I'll take it for half a unit, Dimers. I'm giving you a shot here. We're going to be in disagreement, though, for my 2 top 10s. They give both these dudes sub 7% chance of the top 10. So I say bring it on. I'm going with the 2019 champ of this event, Kevin Na, who ranks first in strokes gained around the green in this field in the last 50 rounds. He's been hit or miss lately. Obviously, he won in the Sony. He's had a few missed cuts since then. Finished 12th at the Masters, 11th at the WGC Mexico. So he could flirt with the top 10. I like that at plus 500. And the other one I'm going to give a shout out to, who finished inside the top 20. Actually, no, he shit his pants on Sunday at the PGA, but a guy who flirted with the leaderboard on Saturday, Richie Werenski at 12-1 to finish inside the top 10. Oh, Richie's been playing good around the greens as well, and he actually gained in all categories each of the last 2 events. So I will take a flyer on him at 12-1 as my second top 10.
I like that. And I'm just going to I'm not putting it official. I just want it on the record in case it happens so I can kind of go back and be like, you idiot. Somebody who I like, who's your guy, you got me on it. Chris Kirk, plus 410 to finish in the top 10. I like that, but it would, if I did that, I'd have to do another bet because I have to have even unit bets. So I can't do it quite yet. But
damn OCD in you.
Yeah. I wish it was like for like productive stuff and not stupid shit, but hey, c'est la vie. But Chris Kirk is somebody who I do like this week. So again, just want to get it out there so people can maybe talk themselves into it. And I'm not betting it, so you'll most likely win.
Chris Kirk, man, it's one of my favorite stories on tour after he came back from that alcohol abuse. So if he wins or gets inside the top 10, that'd be fun to root for. I have 3 outrights this week. One of them I'm taking Cameron Tringale off my outright play. I know he's been close to winning, so this is the week you should probably back him. I'm literally just going with 2 outrights because I do think Spieth's going to be hard to beat, and I'm not taking him at 10-1. I'm going to play Gary Woodland just because of the form. He's turned a corner. He's still hanging at 43-1, so I'll play him for half a unit. And then I do like Berger to defend the title here at 19-1. So those are going to be my only 2 outrights, both half a unit each. So I give you 2 top 20s, 2 top 10s, and 2 outrights. Kind of a light week for me, but we have big things ahead. The U.S. Open's coming soon, and then the British right after that. So I'll save the bullets for the big tournaments.
I got 5 outrights, and the reason being is I actually really like all 5 of these guys this week to win. Outside JT and Spieth scare me the most, but their odds are just not, to me, they're not worth it. But I really like all 5 of these guys, so I figured screw it, let's go for it. So I got Justin Rose at 30-1, 1.3% chance, according to Dimers.
Okay.
Corey Connors, who they like this week, he's going off at 22-1, 4.7% chance. Joaquin Niemann, 25-1, he's at 3.2% chance to do this. Zalatoris, he's going off at 25-1, 2.5% chance to win it, according to Dimers. And then Jason Kokrak, 50-1, 1.8% chance to win, according to Dimers. I like all their games for this course. And I was trying to maybe talk myself out of one of them, but I just figured, you know what, go with it. If you got the guy, I feel like if I left one of them out, that would be the one who won it. And then I would be the person that was like, well, I meant to put it down there. It's like, yeah, okay, idiot. Like, I didn't want to look like that. So I really like all 5 of these guys. So I'm going to go with all 5. Half units for every bet. It's 6 units this week. Just going to have a little fun.
Can't win if you don't try, sir. I'm glad you picked up the slack. I was dropping the ball on my outrights this week, but I can always rely on you to have more bets than you probably should out there, right?
I am good to like sprinkle at least 15 guys on. I'm like a buffet when I go there, you know what? But I don't put a lot on it, so that's why I kind of I divvy out my little bit on all the guys, because you can't win if you don't have money on it. You know what I'm saying? You can't win if you're not in it.
One of us needs a winner this week, an outright for the fans out there. It's been a little bit as we've been in a drought, but good things coming ahead for us. I will see you in not that long up in New York for the Bro Tourney and a number of other things. So summer's in the air, man. We good things all around. I'm getting my swing into shape, which is good. We need to get back in the winner's circle here, and we'll 52 Tuesdays in a row. Here's to the next 52. So I hope the listeners out there are enjoying golf, enjoying the good weather, enjoying things being back open again. Have fun out there. Live it up for sure. Enjoy the Charles Schwab this week, and we will be back next week. I'll leave you to part us with some wisdom, Finn. I'm out of here.
All right. Well, I might actually just get people going. Because I'm this close to breaking 80 at the lake course right now. I keep getting like a 38 and then like a 43 on one of the 9s. It's literally every single time. So maybe I'll do a little Instagram story, road to 80 for everyone, so you can keep track of how crappy I am sometimes. But enjoy it, everybody. I hope the hangover lasts after this week. Thank you, Phil, for giving us everything. Just, you didn't know us anything else in the game of golf, but you gave us a memory that we will tell all of our kids about. You know how it goes with our dads. They tell us, oh, when as XYZ athlete, and you're like, who the hell was that? So thank you, Phil, for giving us that moment with our grandkids when we talk about it, and they don't care who Phil is because there's a different golfer out there. But
well
everyone,
put, man. Well put, because that's not to go back on it again, but yeah, Phil doesn't owe the game anything. He's been great for a number of different reasons. He could have never competed again, and he did. And it's just like, no matter how you feel about Phil, I've definitely rooted against him more than for him, but that was really cool. So sometimes, moments kind of transcend sports, and that one did. That was really cool.
Absolutely. So enjoy it. Hopefully we get another good round of golf, or a good tournament we did last year. Again, happy 52 weeks straight in a row. Happy 52 weeks of knowing Miss Berger. That was awesome, finding out who she was after the tournament. So everyone, have fun. Gamble responsibly. Don't forget, head over to Dimers for the DraftKings NBA bet. $5 get you $200. Definitely money line the Nets. Easiest one to do. Yeah, or Sixers or Nets, just whichever one you want to do. But yeah, have fun, and may all your bets come true. Let's get a winner.
Later.
Later.